was Jock Miller, and he used to ride the big red buses that went out into the countryside. And he was just an ordinary person. He got up at 7, went to work at 8, went on the same route, and when the sun was shining, he'd roll down the window and whistle along with the birds. He'd take a break in the afternoon, and then go to the same corner shop and get a cheese sandwich and tea with 2 sugars. And then he'd do the same route until his shift ended. Now, one day, when the sun was shining and he was crawling through city traffic, as he got to the countryside, the clouds started to cover the sun, and he was a bit worried, but it was spring, so this was the usual weather. As he kept going, the clouds got darker, thicker, and the wind was howling against the windows, until finally it started raining. It's thundering down on the bus like drums, riveting down the windows. His wipers went back and forth, and so he probably rolled the window back up. Now he was thinking, how would he get home in this weather? He was a bit worried, but he didn't live too far from the station, so he'd probably be alright. And he was looking to see if anyone was getting on, and he saw this woman, and she was just wearing a thin dress. He's thinking, wow, they can't go out in this weather. They'll freeze, and there's no knowing how far our house is from the start, because there aren't very many in the countryside. He's wondering, but what can I do to help her? He looks around, and he saw his anorak. So he called out to the woman, and she turned, and she had long black hair and green eyes. And he said, look, it's freezing out there, it's pouring down with rain, and you just have a dress on. And so you can borrow my anorak. So he had a beautiful smile filled her face. Oh, thank you for this. And then she pointed out into the distance. And my house is down that road and to the left. It's number 24 with white walls and a bright red door. You can come and collect it whenever you want. And so she put on the anorak, went off the bus, slipped a bit, and carried on walking. Now a week later, Jock, he'd actually forgotten about the anorak. But as he was going down the road, he saw the house, and he remembered. I'll go and collect it. So he parked his car, went up to the house, and knocked on the door. The door slowly creaked open, and there was a hunched up old lady, thin grey hair, and a shawl over her shoulders. And Jock asked her, are there any young women in this house? The old woman just looked at him. And Jock was a bit awkward, so finally she said, no young women, just her and her husband. But Jock kept insisting, and he described the woman he then standing back to. Suddenly, the old woman changed. Her face went cold, bright red, and she went, no, there is no woman like that here. And Jock was a bit taken back, and he just asked, and she was just being very rude. And he kept asking, and she was getting more and more frustrated. And then her husband came. He put his arm on her shoulder and started speaking to her soft voice. And Jock was waiting for her to calm down. He looked, and on the mantelpiece, he saw a photo. It was that young woman, and with that same dress, the same black hair, the same green eyes, and that same beautiful smile. He found out that was the woman I saw. That was the woman I let my anorak to. The old woman, she grew furious. She was shouting and screaming, why can't you just go away? Now leave us alone! And Jock, he didn't know what to do. He was just asking. And the old man calmed her down again and then said, why don't you come in and we'll explain. So he led Jock into the living room, and the old woman went into the kitchen, still glaring at Jock. and the old man. And he took a minute to compose himself until he finally said, that woman was our daughter, and she died many years ago in an accident. And John, he couldn't believe this, because it had to be that woman that he saw. It looked exactly like her. He said, I don't believe you. I am sure that was the woman I saw. Oh, the old man said, they'll show you. We'll show you the grave. And they went to the graveyard, but it was all cloudy. But as he got there, the sun started to come out, and there, on the gravestone, was the animal.